All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. We're at the top of the hour, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. We've got a lot of material to cover this morning. As you can see by the opening slide, we're going to talk about marketing energy and fitness products from Synergy Worldwide. If you go onto the Synergy website and you look at the fitness products, you're going to find that there's three core products in that category: E9, ProArgi-9 Plus, and ProArgi-9 Active. And we're going to look at each one of them this morning. And then I've added a fourth one into that mix, and it's going to be the Biome Shake. I know we've talked about the Biome Shake in the past, but I want to specifically help you understand how the Biome Shake would fit into a fitness product for athletes. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. When you were looking at energy, the primary energy product that Synergy Worldwide has that outperforms anything else that's in the marketplace is E9. It's long-lasting. It's got a healthy energy formulation. It's unique. It's low-calorie. It supports the cardiovascular system with L-arginine. It enhances mental and physical energy levels. It maintains alertness, improves cognitive capacity, and increases physical performance. It stimulates the body's natural ability to produce energy. And in addition to all that, it's convenient. It's in these single stick packets, single serve packets, so that a person can take it anywhere that they go. And all they basically have to do is just hair off the top and add it to their water. Just as a side note, if they're putting it into a bottle of water, one of those plastic bottles of water, just make sure that you let people know that you got to take a couple sips off the top of it so that the water doesn't spill out when you add your E9. And then from a mixing standpoint, it certainly is better if the water is room temperature. If it's extremely cold water, it's going to take longer for the E9 to mix properly. But at room temperature, it breaks down pretty fast. It mixes really well. It's really affordable. And depending upon their order size, whether they buy whether they buy a box like you see on the screen, which has 30 individually wrapped sticks, your cost is about $1.30 a stick. Or Synergy has some other options where a person can buy a 4-pack of E9 and get their cost a little bit lower. And then the other nice thing about E9 is there's no energy crash. Most energy drinks are loaded with unnecessary amounts of sugar and artificial caffeine, which we're going to look at in just a little bit. And what happens is you get an energy crash. Certainly they give you energy for a period of time, but once that energy has worn off, it's not it's an energy crash that a person goes through. They really feel lethargic, and so they need another stimulant to get them back up. Well, you don't find that with E9, and it's because of the ingredients that are part of it. And when you look at E9, there's only 20 calories per serving, but when you look at the other energy drinks, and I've got on the screen here an energy comparison of the big five, the five major players in the energy industry, from Red Bull to NOS, the calories range anywhere from 100 calories to 140 calories, and it's because of added sugar. There is no added sugar in E9. And as we've learned from our information with regards to the microbiome, inulin is a big reason why. Of the 5 grams of carbohydrate that's in E9, 3 of those grams come from inulin. And as we've learned through our microbiome process, inulin is a prebiotic. It's a soluble fiber that you can't digest, but the good bacteria that you want to feed in your abdominal cavity, in your colon, inulin is a great food source for them. So you're actually, when you use E9, in addition to helping you with your energy, you're also helping in the process of resetting your gut microbiome. If you're going through the Purify kit from Synergy Worldwide and using it in conjunction with E9, that inulin that's in E9, just like the inulin that's in other component parts of the Purify kit, are all there helping to support the good bacteria that you want in your abdominal cavity. Plus, inulin enhances the absorption of minerals like calcium and magnesium, zinc, and iron. And as we've learned again from magnesium and zinc, those two minerals are extremely important in all energy production. Inulin helps to lower triglyceride levels in the blood, which can help reduce the risk for heart attack. And it helps to reduce appetite, which again can be used as an aid in making weight loss or weight management easier. So it's a key ingredient that's in E9 and is not in the other energy drinks. And when you look at the carbohydrates, you can see that the number of grams of carbohydrates range from anywhere from 27 grams up to 31 grams in the other 5 energy drinks. Well, that comes from sugar. And if you understand a simple formula, 1 teaspoon of sugar is equal to 4 grams of carbohydrate. So if we took an average of what you see there, it would average out to around 28 grams of carbohydrates or 28 grams of sugar. What does that represent in terms of teaspoons? Well, if you divide the 28 by 4, that's 7 teaspoons of sugar. Now, would anyone knowingly add 7 teaspoons of sugar to something that they're consuming? No, most people are not aware of the amount of sugar that they're taking in when they're using these different energy drinks. The other thing that the Big Five use is what's called anhydrous caffeine. Now, I pulled this slide off of the internet. Anhydrous caffeine is a pharmaceutical substance mixed into medicines, weight loss, and energy products, and a full range of dietary supplements. When it's an ingredient in foods or beverages, nutritional labels listed simply as caffeine, but in its pure state, the bitter tasting powder is a highly concentrated drug. So the anhydrous caffeine that they're using is a drug designed to be a stimulant, and because of the bitter taste, that's why they have to add all that additional sugar into their drinks to use the sugar to hide the bitter taste of the anhydrous caffeine. Now, in addition to what I just read to you, anhydrous caffeine can create heart palpitations, can increase blood pressure, and can create anxiety issues. So what does Synergy Worldwide do? Well, in E9, they use guarana, which is a natural source of caffeine. And clinical studies have shown that guarana can improve memory and alertness while improving a person's mood and doesn't have all the other negative side effects that you see with anhydrous caffeine. Plus, when you're using guarana, you don't have to hide its taste with sugar. E9 also uses L-arginine. If you've been on any of these Saturday presentations, you know that we're firm believers in the power of nitric oxide therapy through the use of L-arginine and other ingredients. And we all understand that ProArgi Plus is the best product for the creation of nitric oxide. But again, in the E9 product, they use L-arginine, whereas all the other energy drinks do not. So that helps to create nitric oxide for improved blood flow. And any time that you improve blood flow, you improve the delivery of oxygen and nutrients while helping to remove metabolic waste products. We're going to look at this in a little bit more detail when we look at ProArgi-9 Plus and ProArgi Active in relationship to energy production for athletes. Now, in E9, you'll notice that there is vitamin C. Only 2 of the other Big Five include vitamin C, but the amount of vitamin C is about 5 times the amount in the other 2. So why would Synergy Worldwide and the scientists at Nature Sunshine Products want to include 5 times this amount in E9? Well, I had that question, and when I did my research in this area, one of the reasons why E9 is one of the reasons why vitamin C is so important is that it improves the role of the endothelium. It helps to maintain endothelial health and function, which again, as firm believers of the power of nitric oxide therapy, vitamin C then helps to increase this ability to create nitric oxide for improved blood flow. And again, anytime that you improve blood flow, you're always going to then deliver oxygen and nutrients for greater energy production. So it makes a lot of sense for E9 to have this extra amount of vitamin C in it. Plus, there's a whole category of vitamin B or B vitamins that are part of the E9 product. Now, B vitamins are water soluble, which means that they can't be stored in your body. And because of that, they need to be replenished on a daily basis. And in general, B vitamins play a significant role in energy production. So we're going to go through these different B vitamins that Synergy has in E9. It starts with vitamin B1. It is only available in E9. It is not included in the other big five. And the reason why vitamin B1 is in E9 is because it's responsible for converting sugar into energy, especially for the heart, brain, lungs, and kidneys to utilize that as an energy source. So vitamin B1 converts sugar to energy, plus it also improves brain function, especially in the area of memory and concentration. It's one of the reasons why I commonly hear when people are using E9 as their energy drink, they find that they have better focus and better cognitive function. They're more alert. So these are all component parts of E9, plus when we get into some of the herbs that are part of the E9 product, you'll understand how all these things begin to work together to improve cognitive function. Vitamin B2 is in the product. So vitamin B2 helps to break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates for energy production. So again, it's an extremely important vitamin to have, plus it converts vitamins B6 and B9 into their active forms. So not only does it help you to break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates for energy, but it also supports the B6 and B9 that are part of this product, all for energy production. Now, vitamin B3 is in this product, niacin, and it's the highest in E9, and its primary benefit is in heart and vascular health. It also assists in energy production for the cells, and it aids in promoting a well-functioning digestive system, which again goes back to this whole aspect of resetting the microbiome for your abdominal gut. E9 would be a great additional product for people who are using the Purify kit to also, when they go into maybe a monthly Protect program, to utilize E9 as a way for them to continue to not only reset their microbiome, but also help them with energy. Vitamin B5 is in there to convert food into glucose, because glucose is always your major energy source for anything that your body's doing from an energy production. It also aids in the breakdown of fats, carbohydrates, and protein for energy generation, and it's also involved in the formulation of red blood cells. Well, why are red blood cells important? Well, red blood cells is what bind oxygen and then delivers that oxygen to your cells. So anything that you can do to help in the formulation of red blood cells to keep healthy red blood cells in your bloodstream aids in the ability to taking oxygen from the lungs and delivering oxygen to your cells. And as you're going to see in a slide coming up, oxygen is extremely important in energy production. We have vitamin B6. So B6 helps in protein and glycogen metabolism, helps in red blood cell formulation, it helps in energy yielding metabolism, and it reduces tiredness and fatigue. We also have vitamin B9, which is found only in E9 and the one product called NOS. And as you can see, we have twice as much folic acid, B9, in our product than NOS. And it has been shown to help with reducing fatigue and tiredness. We have vitamin B12, again, helps in red blood cell formulation, energy production. It helps to maintain normal homocysteine metabolism, which is key to heart health. And again, it reduces tiredness and fatigue. And you'll notice that I have this EFSA, European Food Safety Authority. So it's important to understand this, because although we're here in the United States and the European Food Safety Authority has no jurisdiction over what we do here in the United States, E9 is marketed over in the European countries that Synergy operates in. And because of the ingredients that are part of E9, they fit well into the European Food Safety Authority and the statements that they make with regards to different types of vitamins and and ingredients that are part of Synergy's E9 product. Now, in addition to the different vitamins that are there, Synergy also includes certain herbs that are part of its makeup. Yerba mate extract is part of it, and it's in there because it provides a clean caffeine effect. What that means is that it provides energy and alertness boost like caffeine, but it doesn't have any of the unpleasant side effects like jitters and nervousness. So you've got guarana and you've got yerba mate, which all help give that caffeine effect that people are looking for when they take an energy drink. But the unfortunate reality of the energy drinks in the marketplace is that they use anhydrous caffeine, which has a lot of negative side effects, whereas in E9, guarana and yerba mate help give that caffeine effect, which you're looking for, energy and alertness, but not the side effects. Important ingredient. Green tea extract. Again, it has multiple health benefits, but specific to our discussion is that it improves energy and brain function associated with the caffeine found in green tea. It includes improved mood, vigilance, reaction time, and memory, and it's been shown to improve physical performance by mobilizing fatty acids from fat tissue and making them available for energy production. Now, without getting into the biochemistry, that's a huge deal because once you use up the glucose, then the body will want to find an energy source, and one of the easiest places for it to get energy is through fatty acids converted back into glycogen, which is then converted to glucose. So it's an extremely important aspect of having green tea extract as part of E9. You have Korean ginseng root extract, which again has been shown to improve thinking ability, cognitive behavior, and quality of life. You've got Maca root extract. Traditionally, Maca root has been used with regards to fertility aspects. But when you're looking at the area of energy, it helps people feel what they cognitively, hard to put a scientific term for feeling more alive, but they're more energetic, they're more alert. It leaves them with a greater sense of well-being. It elevates them. It's kind of like a feel-good endorphin within the brain. So again, having maca root as part of this is a positive effect on a person's energy, stamina, and mood while lowering levels of anxiety and depression. And then there's also acai berry concentrate and aloe vera whole leaf concentrate. And when I was looking at E9, I was curious why Synergy put those two ingredients in it. So in doing research on acai berry, other than the antioxidant aspect of it, the acai berry is a concentrated storehouse of energy. So it combats fatigue and exhaustion, and it improves mental function while also helping to improve digestion. That's the other reason why the aloe vera whole leaf concentration is in there, because it helps to improve the lining of the digestive tract. Going back to what we're learning about resetting the microbiome, when we help to improve the digestive system, what are we going to do? In combination with changing bacteria that's breaking food down, we're going to do a better job taking food, breaking it down into useful energy substances, and then as we improve the lining and the health of the small intestine and the digestive tract, we're going to do a better job absorbing those nutrients. And then if we're doing a better job improving blood flow, we're going to then deliver those nutrients to the cells that need them. So when you look at E9 as a collective product, it provides long-lasting, healthy energy without crash and burn that's associated with most of the energy drinks on the marketplace. It enhances your mental and physical energy levels, leading to improved physical performance while maintaining alertness and increased cognitive capacity. And as a side benefit, E9 also supports your cardiovascular health and function. When you add all that stuff up, it's also convenient in their single-serve packs. It's affordable, and you have a lot of customers that are out there that you can use E9 to tap into this energy supplement industry, especially people who are looking for a natural way to improve their energy levels throughout their day. Now, I typically do 1 packet of E9 with 1 packet of ProArgi-9 Plus first thing in the morning. I typically get up at 5 in the morning. First thing I do once I get up is I go upstairs, I get myself a glass of water, and I add to that water, usually it's a 12-ounce glass of water, I add 1 packet of E9, 1 packet of ProArgi-9 Plus, mix it up, and then I typically drink that over a 30-minute period. It makes a huge difference in increasing my energy and my alertness in the morning, and it takes me from about 5 a.m. up until about 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. in the afternoon. That's how long the energy cycle lasts for me. Now, if I'm feeling a bit fatigued in the afternoon and I'm doing stuff that requires me to have energy and focus, then what I'll do is I'll take one of my glasses of liquid chlorophyll. That's usually 18 ounces of water, liquid chlorophyll, 1 tablespoon of liquid chlorophyll, and I'll add a packet of E9 to my liquid chlorophyll. It actually tastes quite good, and it makes a huge difference in my afternoon energy levels, where I can then have great energy and focus up until bedtime. I typically try not to drink that after 5 o'clock at night so that it doesn't affect my sleep at night. But that's my process of how I use E9 as an energy drink. I'm a firm believer in ProArgi-9 Plus. And from an athletic performance standpoint, we look at ProArgi-9 Plus for cardiovascular health. But I'm telling you, ProArgi-9 Plus is a huge product for the athletic industry. And because of that, we created a video called How Nitric Oxide Therapy Addresses Athletic Performance. You can find that video in our nitric oxide therapy ebook. And that location is oursynergyfamily.com/NO therapy. NO, nitric oxide therapy. So oursynergyfamily.com/NO therapy. And that video is in there. And nitric oxide therapy is the legal way for an athlete to do what's called blood doping. Blood doping is typically where they take blood out of their system to store red blood cells, and then before an athletic event, take their red blood cells and put it back into their bloodstream so that they have more red blood cells to be able to pick up oxygen at the lung level and be able to deliver oxygen at the cellular level to increase their energy production. Well, nitric oxide is the legal way of improving circulation and the delivery of oxygen. So when you look at this aspect, properly applied nitric oxide therapy as it relates to athletic performance can help an athlete improve their athletic performance by an average of 15%. It can consistently help an athlete generate 18 times more energy. I'm going to show you how that works. It's a way for them to reduce the buildup of lactic acid. Lactic acid is always the limiting factor for any athlete's performance, and it can help them speed their recovery in both their workouts and their performance because you are helping to improve blood flow. And anytime that you improve blood flow, you deliver more oxygen and nutrients to create energy, and you also help to clear the muscle tissue of waste products that can build up that can cause soreness for an athlete. So no matter what type of athletic activity that person engages in, their body's going to derive energy from one of two sources, either anaerobic respiration or aerobic respiration. That's how energy is created for athletic performance. That's how energy is created for you as an individual. So when we're talking about anaerobic respiration, we're talking about energy production without oxygen. And when that happens, the unit of energy is glucose. So one molecule of glucose, the net gain of energy is 2 units of energy. An ingredient called pyruvate is created, but pyruvate's got to be removed for the body to continue to produce energy through this system. So what it does is it converts pyruvate to lactate or lactic acid. And as that lactic acid builds up in a muscle tissue, that's what creates the pain and that pain sensation that they're feeling. And it's always going to be the limiting factor in any athletic performance. If I can have oxygen present, then instead of that pyruvate being converted to lactic acid, that pyruvate goes down what's called the Krebs cycle. Now, back when I was in college, my major was biology, and so I had to learn the Krebs cycle. I had to learn all the details of the Krebs cycle. Well, we're not going to cover that today, but here's the bottom line. If I'm able to take my one glucose molecule and be able to have it go down the Krebs cycle, my net gain is 36 units of energy, plus water and carbon dioxide. Now, if you remember back in the anaerobic respiration, in fact, I have it here on the slide, 1 unit of glucose creates 2 units of energy if I'm not bringing that into the Krebs cycle. But if I've got oxygen present, bring it into the Krebs cycle, 1 unit of glucose creates 36 units of energy. That's 18 times the amount of energy. That's huge for an athlete. Plus, I have water as a byproduct, basically a waste product in this reaction. Well, water hydrates my system, and I create carbon dioxide. The interesting thing about carbon dioxide is when it comes back to your lungs, it changes the pH in your lungs, which allows your lungs to actually bind more oxygen to the hemoglobin of the red blood cell. So carbon dioxide as a waste, from an athletic performance standpoint, helps to improve the ability of a person to bind oxygen to hemoglobin so that you can then deliver more oxygen to the working tissue. All this is extremely important. So from an athletic standpoint, whatever I can do to increase circulation and the delivery of oxygen is going to help me increase my energy production and create waste products that actually will benefit me in athletic performance. So every athlete or every athletic activity is some combination of anaerobic and aerobic respiration. And as you increase your exercise intensity, you push your body's energy production more to the anaerobic side of the equation, resulting in burning sensation in the muscles during high-intensity exercise and training. Now, this is key because the athletes that I have that utilize ProArgi-9 Plus, because of the improved blood flow, they're now working at a higher aerobic capacity, which allows them to work at a higher intensity. And in many cases, I hear this back from the athletes that I work with. Dan, I am working at higher levels than I ever did before, and I don't get that burning sensation. Sometimes initially it scares them because that burning sensation, that lactic acid buildup, was their limiting factor in what they were doing in their weight training. Now when that's gone, it's like, okay, where can I push myself to? So this is the interesting thing about utilizing ProArgi-9 Plus and nitric oxide therapy for athletic performance is you can help an athlete go into the gym and be able to work at a higher intensity with less lactic acid buildup, which allows them to stimulate their muscle tissue to create more muscle endurance and more muscle power and more muscle, which then if they're doing second and two, and a lot of athletes who do weight training do 3 sets. So if they're able to do in their first set a higher intensity and recover faster, then they can do a higher percentage of what they were doing in their second set and their third set, which means that they get more work done in a shorter period of time and create the ability to create more power and muscle growth in the tissues that they're working. This is the legal way of being able to help an athlete work at a higher aerobic performance. So what if you could do it naturally? Well, as we've talked about and shown you, we can. So here's the bottom line of when nitric oxide therapy is properly applied as it relates to athletic performance. It's going to improve circulation. If you improve circulation, then you improve blood flow to the muscle tissue. If you improve blood flow to the muscle tissue, then you deliver more oxygen and nutrients to create more energy, and then you also do a better job removing waste products And if you improve the delivery of oxygen, then you can also work at a higher aerobic capacity. This produces more energy and less potential for lactic acid accumulation, which causes fatigue. Again, it's always a limiting factor. So one of the things that Synergy Worldwide did is they created a product called ProArgi-9 Active. And if taken 30 minutes before any type of exercise, the statements that Synergy makes for ProArgi-9 Plus Active are these. It's going to improve endurance and stamina. It's going to reduce fatigue. It's going to enhance blood circulation. And it's going to reduce the time it takes to recover from physical activity. So when you look at the benefits that are part of ProArgi-9 Plus Active, it has everything to do with the ingredients that are in it. We already know what L-arginine does. It increases nitric oxide production, which helps to vasodilate the system for improved blood flow. But in ProArgi-9 Plus Active, there's quercetin. Quercetin is a very powerful antioxidant. Most likely, I could have included ProArgi-9 Plus Active when we did the seminar on antioxidant products from Synergy Worldwide because of the inclusion of quercetin as part of the ingredient mix of ProArgi-9 Plus Active. So it protects the body from free radical damages, as we've talked about, and that helps to protect cell membranes during exercise because the creation of energy through oxygen utilization creates free radicals, and you've got to help an athlete protect their body, especially their cell membranes, from that whole aspect. So that's why antioxidants to an athlete are so important, because just working aerobically creates free radicals that can create damage. So you've got to offset that. Quercetin does. Vitamin B12, which supports the nervous system and helps create new blood cells. We talked about that earlier with regards to E9, the importance of red blood cells and hemoglobin in carrying oxygen, picking up oxygen at the lung level and then delivering oxygen at the cellular level. Folic acid is essential for DNA synthesis and DNA repair and healthy blood cells. Vitamin B6, necessary for the reaction that releases glucose from glycogen to produce energy. Again, glycogen is stored energy, needs to be converted to glucose. Glucose then provides the energy production, as we talked about. And if I can get more glucose into the system and I'm working aerobically, then that means that I'm taking one glucose molecule, converting it not to 2 units of energy, but to 36 units of energy. And if I can put more glucose into the system through vitamin B6, I can then help that athlete have greater energy sourcing through glucose, which helps them produce more energy, especially if I'm helping them to improve circulation and bind more oxygen to their red blood cells, the hemoglobin in their red blood cells. And then it also includes D-ribose, which is a naturally occurring sugar used by the body to generate energy during exercise. So everything that's part of ProArgi-9 Plus Active is designed to improve athletic performance. Now, when the High Desert Heart Institute was part of Synergy Worldwide, before they decided to create their own product and go their own direction, Dr. Siva Arusalam had a hypothesis. And that was this: if L-arginine increases muscle blood flow, then there will be less lactic acid accumulation, thus increasing endurance and muscle recovery. That was his hypothesis, and in 2012 he did a study using ProArgi-9 Plus Active in that study. And what the study results showed is that for all the athletes tested, there was a decreased production of lactic acid, resulting in an average 15% increase in exercise endurance to exhaustion, with a quicker post-exercise recovery back to their resting baseline. So let's break that down and help you understand what that study showed using ProArgi-9 Plus Active as it relates to athletic performance. Well, if you break it down, it means that if an athlete was using that properly formulated L-arginine supplement called ProArgi-9 Plus Active, that athlete was able to work at a higher aerobic capacity. They produced less lactic acid, so that higher aerobic capacity resulted in less lactic acid production, which then allowed them to continue at a higher intensity level because lactic acid wasn't their limiting factor, resulting in improved athletic performance. And because of better blood flow, it was followed by a quicker recovery with less negative effects from lactic acid production. So if I don't have as much lactic acid produced, I can stay at a higher aerobic intensity, which improves athletic performance. And if I have less lactic acid produced, I can then recover faster because I have great blood flow, and the waste products that are created from this aerobic respiration are water and carbon dioxide as opposed to lactic acid, which always has a negative effect for an athlete. So this validated the hypothesis that Dr. Siva Arusalam had with regards to L-arginine in this product, ProArgi Plus Active. And I firmly believe that if he had done the same study, you know, this is my hypothesis, that if he had done the same study using ProArgi Plus, he would have gotten even better results. That's my hypothesis, but we don't have that study to support that. Now, just think how you could impact athletic training, performance, and recovery if you could give an athlete E9 and ProArgi Plus and combine those two together. It will make a huge difference for athletic training, performance, and recovery. Now, I've added the Biome Shake. We've talked about the Biome Shake as it applies to the microbiome. We also talked about the Biome Shake as it applies to other areas of health. But when it comes to athletic performance, the Biome Shake is also a great product because a lot of athletes are using a protein shake. They're using some type of protein shake to get the amino acids that they want into their system. And so when you look at the Biome Shake, one, I'm going to show you a comparison because in the Biome Shake, it's a certified vegan and gluten-free. So not only do you have athletes who don't care about that, but you have athletes who do care about that. So now they have a shake that they can use that they know that is certified vegan and gluten-free, and we use pea protein in the shake. Now, here's why you can also show other athletes that are using protein powders that typically are whey protein, which comes from cow's milk, how pea protein is better for them. So pea protein is equal to whey, but it provides a cleaner energy metabolism while it supports greater diversity in healthy gut bacteria. My wife just started using the Biome Shake. She was using the Slim Smart. The first thing that she said to me when she started using the pea protein or the Biome Shake is that she had no bloating. That's the first thing that I noticed. The unfortunate reality is that when you're using protein powder that comes from whey protein, which comes from cow's milk, there's allergens that can be associated with that, which can create bloating and other issues. You don't have any of those things with pea protein. So because it's dairy-free, pea protein is an excellent source for vegans as well as those with lactose intolerance and sensitivity. A lot of people have those sensitivities, my wife and myself included. So when we switched to Biome Shake with pea protein, that bloating went completely away the first time that we took this shake. Plus, pea protein is a complete protein. It contains all the essential amino acids as well as branch chain amino acids that are important for building muscle tissue. So I have this chart up here which shows you 25 grams of pea protein versus 25 grams of whey protein so that an athlete can understand that their pea protein is a better choice for them than their whey protein. From a caloric intake, they're about the same. It's not a big deal with an athlete who's working out in a gym to have a difference of about 5 calories. The carbs are almost identical. The protein is identical. And there's a slight amount of additional fat, which is good for, this is healthy fat, which is good for an athlete for energy production. But here's the big difference between pea protein and whey protein is that pea protein, when you compare 25 grams of pea protein with 25 grams of whey protein, there's 3 times the amount of L-arginine in pea protein than what there is in whey protein. That means that there's 1.5 grams of L-arginine in 25 grams of pea protein, where there's less than a half a gram in whey protein. Now, L-arginine for an athlete is hugely important. It fuels 7 different metabolic pathways, and one of those pathways is the endothelial pathway for the creation of nitric oxide. So an athlete who's using L-arginine to improve athletic performance, to get a better pump, as they talk about, greater vasodilation, the pea protein fits ideally into that whole process for them. And my suggestion to an athlete would be that they use this as a post-workout drink so that they can reload their muscle tissue with the right proteins that they need, with the additional L-arginine to improve their blood flow so that they can do a better job supporting their microbiome, which allows them to better break down these these ingredients into nutrients that they can absorb with better blood flow, which means that those nutrients will then get to their muscle tissue better and provide the building blocks that they need to rebuild muscle tissue and provide growth and support to muscle tissue. So I would look at the Biome Shake as a post-workout drink for athletes, as a way for them to properly reload and keep their blood flow going through the additional L-arginine to see significant recovery in what they're doing. Now, with that said, I gave you a lot of information. We've got a couple minutes before we typically close off our call. Do I have any questions from anyone with regards to today's presentation? All right.
Good morning, Don. None from me. Thanks.
Thank you, Donald. Anyone have any questions or comments before I say goodbye?
Dan, thank you so much. I have some people that have been asking, and everything that you stated on this call and this webinar has hit every point that they were asking me. So thank you again.
You're welcome. And so, Tracy, I have recorded today's presentation. That recording will go out on Monday in our email, and then it will be hosted up on the our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and type in Our Synergy Family, you'll come to our YouTube channel, and that video will be there. So if this has helped answer all those questions, then this is a video that you can also share with them or utilize as a resource to refresh yourself and be able to answer their questions. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tracy. Anything else before we say goodbye today? All right. I want to thank everyone for your time today. Again, as I stated, this has been recorded. The recording will be up on Monday on our, if you go to YouTube, Our Synergy Family, you'll see the recording there. You can then copy the link, put it into a Word document on your computer so you always have access to it. And it will also go out in our email that we send out. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed weekend.